Try this one more time here. I have been left unsupervised with technology, so all right, looks like we're working this time. All right, hey Dwayne, welcome to Wednesdays with WeRock here. So, um, real quick, want to give a huge shout out to Maxxis Tires for their continued support of the WeRock 2024 season. Laser Nut Manufacturing, metal cutting, Cody Wagner, a huge thank you to Cody for stepping up in so many ways, and we will talk about those in just a little bit as well. All right. Metal Cloak Suspension, Brannick Motorsports. We're going to talk a little bit about the Brannick National Points, kind of what that's looking like. It's only been 2 events, but we've got 3 total scores to add up there. So we'll try and jump into the spreadsheet here in just a little bit and check those out as well. Crown Automotive, Spider Tracks Off-Road, Raceline Wheels, PCI Race Radios, and Tire Right. So thank you guys so much for being a part of our 2024 WeRock season. So just jumping real quick into what's coming up next. Cedar City, we hit the road this weekend. We will be out at Three Peaks Recreation Area all next week, setting up and getting ready. So we are super excited for that. If you have not done so, make sure you jump over to werocklive.com, get your registration in, or buy your tickets. You can get them online, or you can also get them at the gate. So make sure you guys jump on that and take advantage of that this week. Also, camping, plenty of campsites available there. Camping passes are available at the gate, or you can jump online at werocklive.com and pick those up there as well. All right. The other thing that I was going to bring up about Cedar for you guys that are in the area, we would really be nice to have maybe somebody with a box blade or a skid steer to where we can kind of smooth out some of that area up there. I've got to double check with the county and make sure that that's cool. But just to ease vendor trailers getting in and out of up there. I know we've got a couple of vendors coming out. I know that Trail Hero will have their trailer up there Sunday. So if you guys have not registered for Trail Hero, picked out your trails, or just want to pick up a t-shirt, I'm pretty certain you can probably take care of all of that there on site at Cedar City. One of the awesome things that Barefoot Motorsports has done this season is they have stepped up and are sponsoring little Hot Wheels style monster trucks for all of the kids that come in at the gate. So we usually have anywhere from 30 to 40 of those to pass out. So thank you, you guys, for that. And we will need monster trucks for that one. So I will have to get you guys probably in touch with George and Laura Liner in order to get you an address that we could send those over to. Although they show up pretty quick here too, so we'll talk about that one and make sure we have those monster trucks available for all the kids that show up for the event. So thank you guys so much for sponsoring that, and just one more thing that gets those kids excited to come out and meet all the drivers and see the cool trucks and all the buggies and everything. So and then also a great way to kind of start their passion for off-road motorsports. with having an off-road vehicle of their own. So thank you guys for partnering with us and making that happen. Your commitment to the sport of rock crawling is amazing, and we definitely really appreciate that. All right. One of the other things that is going on coming up here for Cedar City is the WEROCK event. So if you guys are into rock crawling, but maybe not the full scale, make sure you bring out your RC rock crawlers. There will be a full-blown comp. I need to reach out to Ty and try and get a little bit more information on how, where, and why all of that stuff is. We did had a great turnout in Baghdad, and for an exhibition. So I don't know if this one is also going to be exhibition. Just trying to get trucks out to the event, let people kind of experience it, see what the WEROCK rock crawling is all about. I do know that they have an event coming up in Denver here very, very soon. So that one is going to be very cool too. I believe it's in June. So a great way to get tuned up for the new series for that. And it's not just another series. So this is give you a little background. This is designed to be replica full-size buggies, but in a scale world. So they do have to have a certain height on the person that sits in the buggy. I believe we call them action figures. Ty will probably correct me on that. Make sure we're using the right terminology there too. But everything is really about trying to be realistic in comparison to the full-size rigs. I know Braxton Coleman is getting real close on having his finished up. I know that Thomas Miser is working on, I believe he's actually selling chassis for the WEROCK group. So if you would like one of his chassis, but in a small scale, reach out to him and to Fab801, and you can get hooked up with one of his chassis as well. So, but a really, really super cool, thing that these guys are doing, and really bringing the scale world to the extreme side of things, I guess, because there is, there's a huge contingency of people that are running what would be unlimited class, type rigs where, there's few rules where you have to have tires and things like that, but they're all designed to be extremely capable and, accomplish all the crazy obstacles that you can. And what happens with that is, it's not tangible to what the real world full-size vehicles look like. And so there's been a huge push over the past, maybe even 10 years now, to do more scale style RC stuff. And with that, it's become, very, very popular, but it's more trail rig style. And the full-blown comp rig style has kind of gotten away from that. So this is a really neat way to kind of combine both of those worlds to where, it's a realistic competition style vehicle. So you can kind of, mirror it after comp rigs that have run with this over the years. So very, very cool. Excited. If you guys want more information on that, make sure you check out the WEROCK on Facebook. Jump on there, ask any questions that you might have. But for the most part, if you have an RC rock crawling type vehicle, bring it out to Cedar. And I know that, I know like Tyler and Logan and all those guys will be out after the comp as well to run, because obviously they're going to be busy during the event, so they won't probably get to participate with the WEROCK guys. But I know there will be an after hours set up for that as well. So just one more cool thing to come out and experience at the Three Peaks Recreation Area here coming up on the 27th and 28th, I believe. Should know that by heart, but yeah, the end of the month here. So very excited for that one. All right, I was going to kind of look at where we are sitting with the Brannick Motorsports National Points. So typically we don't post the national points this early in the season, but with Texas being a double points event, that's really kind of shaking some things up right now. So we'll kind of jump into that and see what things are shaping up for. Unlimited class is the main one. Pro Modified and Pro Trail. You guys are looking pretty solid in there, but we'll jump into that real quick and cover that. All right, shipping out, be here this Friday. Yeah, we will still be here Friday, so that would be perfect on the monster trucks. All right, I've got about 31 windows open here for points, and we're going to pull up Mason as well. All right, so in the Pro Modified class, Braxton Coleman, Brett Robinson, taking away basically 3 wins. So they are sitting pretty comfortable with a 300-point national standing. So 100 points for each win. So they are looking really good right there. Still right behind them though, George and Laura are just 1 point behind each event. So they're 3 points behind overall in the Pro Mod. So what does that look like in order to overcome a 3-point deficit? So it is definitely possible. At this point, which would probably push them towards the tiebreaker in the Brannick Motorsports. So would probably be the best way that they could approach that. And I believe that Braxton would have that tiebreaker. So right now, with 3 of the 4 required events for Braxton, he is looking very good for getting that Pro Modified car on the backdrop for the 2025 season. I know Neizumi will be very excited to have that Milestar sponsored rig on the backdrop. So that is going to be very cool. Similar situation in the Pro Trail side. Brett Dickey bringing home 3 wins at this point that will qualify in the Pro Trail class for the Brannick Motorsports national title. And the same thing, he is really working very strong at this point, that we will see that Brett Dickey number 17 on the backdrop for the 2025 season. So great job by those teams, very strong right out of the gate. And there's still plenty of time for things to change in that. The teams are allowed to take their best 4 scores. So there's still a lot of season left where other teams could accumulate, 400 points in there. So, Cedar City is really going to be something they're going to have to show up and have a good performance there in order to lock in that national series. So, very exciting, very early on in the season to see how that Brannick Motorsports National Championship is shaping up for the guys in Pro Mod and Pro Trail. However, in Unlimited, this is where things get pretty tricky. So Dave Wong and Nate Reed started out really strong with a win in Baghdad, putting that 100 points in their pocket. So they were looking very, very good there. And what the tricky part was is they took second place at Texas, and so that dropped them down basically 2 points at that event. And with Michael Brassanini taking the win, that gives him 200 points over Dave's 198. I'm sorry, 300 points. No, he's only got 200. Yeah, so 200 to 198. So it's going to be really, really tricky to see what happens there. So if Dave comes in and gets the win in Cedar, which he's very, very familiar with the terrain in Cedar, has always shown very, very well there. So that is going to be really cool to see what happens there. If they can pick up that, that'll bump them up to 2 first place wins and then 2 second place finishes. So Michael with 2 first place finishes, and then if he finishes down in that second or even further down, because you never know where things could go, that could be really, really tricky, and that may push Dave to where he's going to have to try and find another one of those 100-point first place victories to keep Brassanini off of that top spot. So definitely keep an eye on the unlimited standings as we come into Cedar. We'll try and talk a little bit more about those next week with Caleb. Plus, we will have plenty of updates with what's going on site from Cedar City, from the Three Peaks recreation area. So at this time next week, we will know exactly where the courses are going to be and what our layout's going to look like. So with Caleb being out there the first time, it's to set courses. I'm really, really excited, and I hope that we can get some new terrain that maybe levels the playing field for people that haven't been at that historic comp site for many, many years. So gorgeous area out there. I love spending the week that we're out there in Cedar City. The food is amazing. The views are great, and so many things to do. We're just 35 minutes from the comp site to the Narrows. Might have to help me out on that one. I'm going blank on the national park down there, but not only that, but Bryce Canyon and so many cool things to see in that area. So yeah, make sure you guys come out, and if you've got extra time while you're out there, there's all kinds of cool things to do in that area, and wheeling as well. Definitely with Sand Hollow just down the road. It's a very popular spot to show up during the summer. Right now, I just checked the temperature in Cedar. Looked like it was 70 degrees today. Hurricane on my weather app was saying 80. So it's always a little bit cooler up in the mountains there in Cedar. So beautiful site and historic site for sure. So. All right. Couple things that we were going to talk about in the Crown Automotive, the camaraderie section of what's been happening this week in the world of WEROCK. We saw last week that John Himble with Mad Cow Racing picked up a brand new buggy. They were able to get out and do some testing with that. It did have the BFGs on there. So that will be something interesting to see if he gets that car switched back over to the Milestar, or if he's going to stay with the BFGs for the time being for the Cedar City event. So very excited to have Mad Cow Racing back out on course with us. It has been a really, really rough start for John. Miles hasn't been able to do a whole lot of work, back and forth just with different car problems and that, but and then selling his car. So if you didn't know, sold the old car and basically bought what he was currently building. So he was able to really speed up that timeline and get into a proven car. I believe it's Scott's car. I can't. I'm at a loss for his last name right now as well. But um, already sorted, so there shouldn't be a lot of those new car blues. More so just some fine tuning. So hopefully John can get out and they can get that figured out. One of the funny stories from Mason, we heard in the pits that Dave Wong had scratched his steering ram, and so he was swapping it out because he had a spare. So we went over to check it out, see what was going on, and knowing Dave, and as most of you do, he takes very, very good care of his car, and it wasn't surprising to us to think, oh, Dave scratched his steering ram. He wants to make that nice. No, he gouged with that very sharp rock down there, the actual cylinder or the piston in that cylinder, and it was leaking. So he changed that out. I saw over the past week that he's got his spare put back together with a new shaft in there. So Dave is working his way on getting that prepped and ready to go for Cedar City as well. The other thing that, man, it's going to be super exciting to have Wayne Mortenson's electric buggy back on course with us in Cedar. I know he's been dialing that in. Believe it or not, he's trying to get the torque curve toned down. He was having trouble with it, where he's from in Reno, had it dialed in really, really well. Got to Baghdad, and it just wasn't working the same way that it was working in the Reno rocks there. So he's been working on some tuning, trying to figure that one out. I saw that he was wondering about gearing, if maybe he was geared too high or something like that. So I know he's been working on that, and really excited to see that back out on course and in a completely different terrain. So Baghdad and Texas are both extremely sharp rock and great traction. So we're moving into that sandstone area where it's just a completely different driving style, and really one of those places where having those selectable lockers to try and keep the car from sliding around and sticking on a line, it's going to be very, very important in Cedar. So it's a completely different wheeling style. So really excited to see how things change with the car prep and things like that of what teams are doing. One of the other things I'm super excited about is there's gonna be a debut of a brand new unlimited Jimmy's car, and so we are super excited to talk about that next week. So if you guys have seen the pictures that have been around on Facebook, hopefully we will get to catch up with that team next weekend and see what try and bring you that story, and it's a really good story, and we're really honored to have them out competing with us. So it's going to be very, very cool. I know Daniel Lesko is excited to get back out on course. He did amazing for his first WEROCK event in Baghdad, and that one is a tough place. So I would not expect the courses to be much different as far as a difficulty level, but again, it's a completely different type of wheeling there. So the car, to me, seems to want to be a little bit more settled, where Arizona seems like it's always trying to roll you over a little bit. So yeah, I know that we had. The name escapes me right now. I know we had some other questions on Facebook that Rich and I were tagged in for rules and that for sportsmen. So real quick, I was just going to give you a rundown on the sportsman kind of criteria. The big one being that you do need to have a DOT helmet. You need to have a minimum of a 4-point harness, a door or a door bar, so something that would come from your shoulder, just to kind of protect you in case you flop over. The big one that, like tube doors or half doors, those are perfectly fine. The big one that's a little tricky for trail rigs that most people don't have is an aluminum roof above the driver's head. And the reason we do that is just to try and shrink that area that a rock or a branch or something could come through the roof. And so we're just trying to make sure we have a good level of protection, for our sportsman class. But as far as the rig is concerned, the things that Caleb techs on, typically the seat belts, the helmet, battery hold down. If you got a ratchet strap on it or something like that, it needs to be a good solid, metal bar or cage that holds that battery in there, because we just don't want it moving around, and causing issues. And the other one being fire extinguishers. 2 kitchen style fire extinguishers work great. There's Amazon is a great place to pick up some inexpensive. Comes with hose clamps and a quick release and all of that stuff if you're needing something. Those were a couple of questions that we saw over the past week that had popped up, so I just kind of wanted to cover those a little bit as well. If you guys are working on a rig or anything like that, make sure you tag us at WEROCK Live on Instagram, Facebook. Those are pretty much the 2 that we're mainly on. So, or just send us a message and let us know what you have going on. If there's something that you want us to highlight your team, we'd love to talk about you and hope get you guys some exposure. So, Dwayne asked about Pennsylvania. So yes, we were just about ready to pull the plug on the place that we've been working on. And then I got some feedback on there that it sounds like it's still in progress. It's extremely slow at trying to put something together. So we're going to give it a couple more weeks. If we don't get an answer, very soon, then we will have to go to our plan B on that one. And we'll have that ready to announce here in May at the latest. So we will definitely make sure we get you guys plenty of time to know where you're going and get those arrangements made and things like that. Get all your friends and family to come out and get the weekend off so that they can come support you. Again, if you have anyone that is interested in judging, we've got a couple things going on for the judges. So not only normal, you get a free t-shirt, you get a free lunch both days. You get entered into a giveaway for Raceline wheels. So any cast wheel of your choice in there. And then Laser Nut, Cody Wagner has stepped up and he is building some super cool, we're just going to call them trophies, some super cool trophies that the only way that you can get those is to show up and volunteer at an event. And he is working hard to make sure that those are unique. And I've already got my good buddy Scott Angel, who helps me here in the shop. And he is already trying to pick out what event he's going to, because he wants on that. We will get those out to you guys as well. But that is going to be really, really cool. So can Emmett spot? Yeah, we can talk about that. I don't have any problem with that. We love having you guys out on course. So we would, at this point, I don't have any issues with that. So awesome. Crystal, thank you. Brett, thank you. Says Brett's bringing down some judges from the St. George Hurricane area. So that's going to be awesome as well. I do have, we have Nick that ran recovery him and his wife in Baghdad. They are set up to run recovery again for us in Cedar. And I've got 2 or 3 judges that have already signed up and got their free passes and everything, free camping and everything that comes along with that. So if you guys are interested, shoot us an email, message, however works best for you guys, and get that to us, and we'll make sure that we get you guys taken care of the best that we can. So, all right, with that, that is going to wrap up another We Rock Wednesday, all by my lonesome here. So I do have Caleb's car on the lift. It is keeping me company while he is out watching his girlfriend at a swim meet. So being a good boyfriend. Until next week, we will see you guys in Cedar City. So excited, and we cannot wait. So we will see you guys then.